Very good morning to you viewers and welcome to this your favorite show, Breakfast with the Deacons. And I hope that you have been having a grace-filled Lenten journey. As we begin, let's say to the women, last Sunday we celebrated International Women's Day. We wish you all the best, our ladies, and we thank you for all that you do for us as church and as country, the hard work that you do, and we honor you in this time. Well, also I hope that you're keeping your precautions as we are part of the world, the global world, and we reflect on the coronavirus, and we, as medical research and scientific research goes along, we take our own precautions. We remember the words of our Archbishop last week as he preached at the midday retreat for the Holy Rosary Parish. And he said to us, Lent is a good time to reflect on and ask the hard question about our relationship with God. He said, when the relationship with God is right, then the person is right, and then the nation goes right. So we put that and we reflect. We just 2 weeks into this Lenten journey. We pray that you are doing your bit to renew that relationship with God, and we wish you the best today. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well as we reflect on our Lenten retreats. In studio with me this morning is Father Dwight Merrick, the parish priest of La Jocata. Father, welcome to our show.
Thanks, Sabine.
And we are going to talk about the Youth Prayer Festival, their Lenten retreat. So, Father, could you introduce us to what is happening over the weekend?
Okay, so this weekend we are at Green Meadows, Santa Cruz. We've used this venue before, a couple of years ago. It's one of our favorite venues, and this is our first weekend for the year. It happens to fall in the Lenten season, so there's a Lenten twist to it. So it's very difficult to judge how many young people will turn out. This particular ministry kind of targets the teenagers and young adults. It always has. And the last time we were here at Green Meadows, it was not in Lent, but we had like 300 people. It really tested the air-conditioned system. They learned some things that weekend about upgrading and so on. And it was amazing. It was really, really great. And we look forward to a great weekend again.
And this is for the entire, should I say, youth from
Well, actually, we try to move it around to each vicariate.
Okay.
So we kind of focus our attention on the suburban parishes.
Right.
We know the young people in certain parts of the north, but the northern vicariate, they can't come because they have a function with at St. Finbar's, I think, this Saturday. Mm-hmm. This is the priest being brought in from Medjugorje. They have a special thing for them.
Yes.
So we know that we're going to miss a lot of them. There's a huge group at Diego Martin, Piti Valley all the time. So they can't be with us, so we'll miss them. But we do have 10, 12 parishes in suburban.
Yeah.
So these are the ones that we kind of target, and we try to involve their choirs, their musicians. So we have Nigel and his team from Sawa supporting, I think, the Gooden family. I don't know them personally yet, but we're from Santa Cruz. They're going to have a little bit at the end of the Sunday. We have some youth from San Fernando coming up. They're part of the team, the overall team, musicians. So we have a mixed group supporting the whole thing. Of course, with young people, music is a huge thing.
Yes, quite so.
And it must be by them and for them. So that's also a big part of it. Our material, however, what we want to do with them, we too are in transition as a ministry. So we came out of this has come out of the Youth 2000, which ran in the country for over 20 years.
Yes, yeah.
And that's in transition the last year or so. We have a new youth coordinator, youth delegate, Ms. Teresa Best Downs. And so she's looking at how things would move and so on. So we are in a bit of transition. I know one thing for sure, and that would start with this weekend. in that we are incorporating more of stuff that was not really part of the Youth 2000. Youth 2000 are very Eucharist-centered spirituality, and that's what we push. But given what our young people are challenged with today and the needs of our own young people in this archdiocese, my team and myself are really attracted to doing other things that we find are really important for young people. Yeah. So this particular weekend, we have a big focus on evangelization, teaching them how to evangelize somebody else, having them share their testimonies, their little stories, whatever is their experience of Jesus, because that's a huge part of speaking to someone else about Jesus. Right. You must have a personal story to tell.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so, but that's not normal in our confirmation programs and so on. Yeah. You know, that experiential dimension of spirituality is not a very big thing, but we think in line with what we have from the documents of the church, a person must first have an encounter with Jesus. Then the formation, which is catechesis, kicks in, and then mission. And sometimes that formation is missing. And when the encounter is missing. And if you don't have an encounter, it's difficult to really speak convincingly about a Jesus you don't really know personally. Yeah. And you don't feel comfortable speaking about him as about a personal relationship with him. So we do have that aspect of this particular weekend. We have the usual aspects of the Marian devotion, the International Rosary. Of course, all the talks, everything take place with the Blessed Sacrament exposed. But we have the burning bush, a big structure that is mounted up with the Blessed Sacrament at the top, and all these candles, 50 candles around them, little vigil lights, sorry. Yeah. So those are the normal things that we have, the small groups. There are light food stuff on sale, of course, because we have them all day. Yeah. 8:30 to 5, roughly each day, Saturday and Sunday. So a packed program. All those who turn up are sure, guaranteed to have a great time. Once young people are together, they make sure they have a great time.
And, well, I noticed on your flyer you speak about the healing Blessed Sacrament.
Eucharist, yes. Yeah. So that's a feature of the Youth 2000, and we want to keep that. Yeah. So toward the end of Saturday evening, there is a session where there's a procession through the young people with the Blessed Sacrament, and normally that's a time where they really open up themselves, and in a really mysterious way, the Lord seems to touch a lot of young people in that session. It comes out, it usually is a high point of a weekend. So we have that as usual.
And you have that on both days?
No, that's the Saturday. That'll be Saturday. In the original Youth 2000, it was always once. There's one session like that, and always on the Saturday, really.
So, well, you are involved, Father, and who else will be presenters as such?
Okay, don't have them all off the top of my head. Yeah. But let me talk about a little challenge here. So the Youth 2000 was always very, very challenged to get priests. Yeah. Because it's on a weekend. It's at the times when priests are most heavily used and already in service. Yeah. So I know what we've done now is, in recent years, we've got some lay people who are known, who are good speakers, who really know their faith really well, to help people like Tristram has helped in one in San Fernando recently. This time we have 2 seminarians coming to give their testimonies on Saturday morning.
Very well.
So we're still trying to get one other priest beside myself to serve on the weekend, and then we have the normal crew who will do the International Rosary and things like that. There's a Marian talk that I would like a priest to do, if possible, but we have several excellent young people and even lay people, adults, who can do that talk really well. You know, so, but we know that we can't look forward to having a lot of priests being able to show up on a Sunday morning and a Sunday midday, you know.
That was really tough. You about confessions, if you...
Really tough. And the parish priest in Santa Cruz, he told me he would not be in the country for this. So, lending his support as much as possible otherwise, but, you know, and that's something the church has to really be adjusting to all the time, you know. Like I say, we have really capable lay people who can do these talks really well. So that's a direction we would need to go. Young people need to see priests, yes.
Yes, yeah.
They love to see the priests, and but it isn't always very possible on a weekend.
Earlier you mentioned that this is for the suburban.
Well, the target group,
yes.
suburban.
Yeah.
My parish is done suburban, but my kids are coming.
Yeah, coming. But are you going to have follow-ups of these in the other vicariate?
Yeah. Our hope is to run 4, at most 5 weekends per year.
Yeah.
We were able to do that the first year when I came in. That was 2017. We maybe had 3, 4, 18. Last year we did nothing. Last year was a whole. We had a new youth secretariat, the whole thing changing and so on, and we were kind of asked to hold up, let's see how this thing is going to go. Right. And the transition is still taking place. There's a meeting coming up in a couple of weeks about that. How would that work with what we are doing with the Youth 2000? Is there going to be another youth? We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet.
And registration,
there's an online registration. Which we encourage, of course, that will help us to know numbers a little better.
Yeah.
But the reality is that most of them show up in their groups with their confirmation teachers and they register on the day.
Register on the morning. Yeah. And is there any fee for registration?
Yeah, $30. Yeah. Well, so far it's $30. Yes.
$30, and that takes care really of the basic.
Well,
things
we hope it does. We hope it does.
Yeah. And well, you mentioned that there will be also food on.
There'll be light stuff on sale. So not heavy food. It's Lent, not heavy food.
Right. Yeah.
But
so that
the light stuff.
All right. And that food we need to purchase as light as it is. So it will be provided. You could walk in your own things and know that also that it's Lent. So we keeping that flavor of Lent with the light food. Any contacts that we can?
They're on the flyer, really. These are the contacts. My own number is the first one there.
Yeah.
I would think Alison Rayburn Roberts.
Yeah.
She has always been a real tower strength to this ministry. She continues with us. And Julia. And
those numbers are on your screen as you look at your screen, so you could probably just take those, give a call. We need to see you there. It's going to be a rich experience for you, all the young people and those who have already been to previous occasions. Please encourage your friends to be part of this experience. And Father, I understand you're going to have some workshops as well.
Right. So the evangelization exercise with young people for me, it's proven a real learning experience because recently I had my young people on Carnival Retreat with me in Tamana RC School. And what we do on a weekend like that is we take all morning, Saturday morning, to teach them how to do one-on-one evangelization, how to visit people, how to greet them, introduce yourself, how you go through the whole process. And then in the afternoon, they go out. And one of the interesting things was that in the School of Evangelization, which Auntie Babsy, Sister Debbie worked with for many years in the 80s and 90s, they were very strong on giving a testimony very well. Yeah. What I discovered with the young people, our teenagers, their testimonies are very, very different. It's not about, well, I was in this crisis and I experienced Jesus in this way and he took me out. It's not like that at all. It's all about journey and process. It's like I'm trying to see my way through this and the Lord helps me and I have a sense of Jesus helping me. And but it's not like I'm here.
Yeah.
It's not like they've arrived at all. It's more about process.
Yeah.
Which is very, very new to me. I have never pushed them to give testimony. I found they were giving a lot of trouble. Why are they giving testimonies? And then when they started coming out, this is what I heard.
Right.
So they do need the workshops because they have to work that out with themselves. They have to share with themselves, among themselves. What is the experience of Jesus like? Where is Jesus in their life? In their struggles as young people and so on. So the time to interact in small groups is really, really important with, I think, all youth ministry. You can't just be giving lectures.
Right.
They need to have that session too.
And they need to have that practical experiences as well.
Well, how they see him alive in their lives.
Okay.
If they're going to speak convincingly to other people, they must be convinced themselves.
Right.
So to get them to articulate that sometimes is quite difficult because they're not accustomed doing that. You know, I was saying to one of our leaders recently, you know, we should be teaching our smallest children how to speak about Jesus. You know, how to tell their stories. The littlest child, you know, because we get to confirmation age and they've never been asked that and they feel very sheepish about, how do you mean, who's Jesus? And for me, you know, it's not supposed to be a cerebral, just academic exercise. It begins with the personal encounter.
Right.
You know, the documents of the church says it's encounter first.
Yes.
You have to have an encounter with Jesus first. Then the catechesis makes sense. Then the catechesis makes sense, you know. In my own journey, it was only when I was baptized in the Spirit, then I had a whole appetite to learn. I started buying books and reading and teaching myself the faith. I knew precious little before that, and I had little interest before that.
Yes.
Okay? So the encounter is really important. And they have encounters that maybe they haven't been challenged to speak about, to reflect about, to understand deeply. So that's all really, really important.
Good. When I saw the flyer, someone asked me, what is this International Rosary about? What is it?
So because it's a throwback to the U2000, U2000 is an international ministry and it's all over the world. So one of the features I developed very early was having the rosary said in different languages. So you normally have a core of young people who can speak different languages, so they do decades. And the response is in English, but someone will be leading in Spanish, French, whatever languages we have on the day.
And now we are off on 2 days. Now, what about Mass for the
Each day has Mass.
Each day you have Mass.
Each day has Mass. So this Sunday has a Sunday Mass.
All right.
We begin with a Mass on Saturday, which will be the Mass of the day, not the Sunday Mass.
Right.
But we have Sunday Mass at the end of the whole thing. That the Mass should start at 3 p.m. on Sunday evening. So we hope to start wrapping up by 4:30. We normally end with the testimonies, have young people just come up and give what was their experience of the weekend, what do they take away from it, what do they like, you know, that kind of. And we have a vocation call as well. We do have a vocation call where we ask people from this and other things they've been going through in their journey, how do they feel called, married life, single life, priesthood, religious, all of that.
And do you have any, well, you said you have seminarians coming in.
We have 2 seminarians really helping us on Saturday.
From the sisters, the congregation?
Not this time, I didn't. We had, last time we had sister, a young lady, well, she's from La Hoqueta originally. We had her help us at Couva. We had one at Couva a couple of years ago. She did one of the talks. So yeah, we're going in that direction. So getting young people in religious life to do something. And the seminarians, even the aspirants, I would like to get aspirants to come and they've just started to see what's it like for them. You know, so that all young people don't see that this is something so high, so far, so unreachable. But it's young people like them.
And when these young people are basically their kind of age group as well. And as they reflect, you know, it's good that when we have them around so that they share their own experiences, their call and their own beginning.
And it's important for other young people to see with seminarians, aspirants, it's not like they've arrived. It's like we're still working, we're trying to work this thing out. You know, actually we can get the priest and the nuns to say the same exact thing. We're still working this thing out. You know, in faith.
It's a continuous thing that you're at it and you're working and deciding as you go along. So just to remind you that the dates, well, it's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, beginning each day at 8:30 a.m. and the venue is Green Meadows and that's on the Saddle Road. Well, we know that today most people they're using their technology to get there, but you want to give any idea of where?
Well, it's on that main road straight into as you go into the Santa Cruz RC Church. But it's in the vicinity of Cantaro Village, and there is a sign on the main road, Green Meadows. On the right-hand side, you can't miss it really. So if you've got to the church or you've got to the fire station, then you've passed it.
Well, that's if you're coming from the...
From Sawan.
Yes,
Yeah.
from the Sawan area. And if you're coming over the hills from Maraval, well, then it's going to be on your left, obviously.
And you need to pass the fire station and
you
go
need-
about
yes.
a half mile.
Yeah, all right. So for that's for the new people. I'm sure too you're coming in your group, so as you come over the hills from Maraval, you pass the fire station. It's on your, soon after on your left. Of course, if you're coming from San Juan, it will be on your right. The day begins with Mass on Saturday, and that's Saturday Mass. That's not your weekend Mass. We end on Sunday with Mass that will fulfill your weekend obligation. And we are encouraging you to come up in your droves, man. Suburban Vicariate and Northern Vicariate, we always enjoy your company. Encourage your friends, those who have been already. Share your experiences with them and encourage them to be.
We also have contacts from people in Central Vicariate or Tuga, I think, Omayo, contacting us saying they're bringing groups.
Very good.
So whilst this is the target, whoever wants to come.
Yes, right. So
can
it's
come.
open to everyone, yes. And again, the numbers for contact is up on your screen at this time. So you call those numbers and somebody will guide you and help you along. And let's make this for us a really, truly wonderful weekend. We look forward to seeing you, and I'm sure, I'm telling you it now, that you will be richer for the experience. So don't miss it. It's going to be your weekend. It's going to help in your own growth. It's going to help you on your Lenten journey as well. And Father, we have just a bit of short time to go again. So anything else that you want to share with us?
Well, so we've got started for this year. We anticipate having 4 or 5 weekends. Some of the normal venues will be Presentation College San Fernando.
Yeah.
We sometimes use as well Couva, Holyfield Convent Couva. Those have been venues we use kind of often. Arima North Secondary is a venue we've used quite a bit in the past. Then we have to find a venue deeper out on the East Coast, maybe like Manzanilla, somewhere like, you know. And we are
the Southwest
open.
as well.
Right.
Yeah.
We've used St. Mary's College in the past.
Yeah.
But we are open to doing smaller ones for just like a cluster of parishes.
Right.
I remember when I was at Blanchisse's years ago, there was parish-based kind of youth 2000 held for Blanchisse's parish at the community center. I remember that one. So it's small, it's just for like, you know, those who are close by.
Yeah.
And, but very, very helpful, very meaningful, very important. So we are really open to seeing what the needs are and how can we fulfill those needs in a better way.
As you talk about these smaller ones, I remember being involved in one at Palo Seco, and that just catered for the parishes around there. Yeah. But that's a U2000 I'm speaking about.
Sure.
Yeah. And this is the growth of that. So my dear young people, once again reminding you, it's on this weekend. It's on this weekend, the 14th, March 14th, Saturday, and Sunday, March 15th. And we look forward to having you present with us, and it's going to be an enriching experience, so don't miss it. We know that you need it. It's organized for you, and we thank Father Dwight for all the hard work he is putting in, and we look forward to your presence with us as we go through this weekend, and then beyond, as Father mentioned, the experience of evangelizing. And we begin that now, really, with asking you to be part of this experience. Anything we wish to add to that?
Well, the Howell brothers are coming up from San Fernando. One of them is a rapper. They're musicians. They compose their own pieces.
Yeah.
They're really getting really good and really popular.
Yeah.
So young people I know in our church know them. Then they know the name. So they will be serving us all of Saturday. They'll be coming to lead the music most of Saturday.
Right. And so is there any time during these 2 days where those who are part of the participants are any talent show with them? Well, when I say exposition.
Well, there are little pieces, little fillers that, you know, where they have chance to do those kinds of things,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And these Howell boys, they're really great
Yeah.
at whipping up a crowd and getting them going. They have them chanting, they have them responding certain things. They're really good.
So like if those who are coming, if they play instruments, they could walk with that.
Sure.
Yeah. Walk.
That has happened. That's a common thing too.
Yeah. So remember, if you are a musician, well, whatever way you are talented, bring along what you use and allow other youths to share in your own experience and in your gifts, and we together we will have a booming, we'll explode our church. We're looking this weekend at the suburban, but as Father said, it is open to anyone, but generally there are going to be experiences like these in the several vicariates.
It moves around, yeah.
And
We hope to be in San Fernando next, actually, somewhere around June, July.
June, July.
Yeah.
So don't let this pass by on you. Again, it's on Saturday and Sunday of the weekend coming up, March 14th and 15th. We begin at 8:30 on Saturday morning, and we go through until about 6 p.m. The contact numbers are on your screen, so you can take that and you will call and they will give you any advice that you need.
Or just show up. Just show up.
Yeah. And just show up if that's the case. And remember, there's a minimal registration fee of $30, and that's to help us to cover the cost of doing this retreat weekend for you.
And there are eats and drinks because we have them there all day.
Yes, so pocket a little pocket change to get your little refreshments, light refreshments, as Father said. And we look forward to your presence. Suburban, it's your turn. So Father said we had 300 last year at Green Meadows.
Maybe not last year, a few years ago.
A few years ago. Well, the last time around. And we want to exceed that this year. We will fit you in. Yeah. And before we close, just to remind you of two very important events coming up in the Archdiocese. On the 22nd of March, we have the men's ministry. They call it their first annual conference, and it's being held at the Center of Excellence in Mathura. The men of our Archdiocese, we spoke earlier about celebrating our women and International Women's Day, but our men, we get together so that we could lead the way for our women and to take care of our men, to put the hands of our church in the hands of capable men. We look to fill the Center of Excellence. We want you to be there, men from throughout the Archdiocese. We are appealing to you. Do what you can do best, which is be the men of our church and to move our church forward as we move on. And of course, we have the Generation S fast that is coming up, and we appeal to all the young people to be part of this fast. We ask you also, the adults, to give them the support that they need in this time. My dear sisters and brothers, I hope that you will continue having a great season of Lent. And as we close, I want to encourage you to encourage the young people to be part of the experience of this weekend. Again, it's at Green Meadows, and it's on Saturday and Sunday this weekend, the 14th of March and the 15th of March. Your Sunday Mass will end with that on Sunday evening. Any closing remarks, Sarah?
We're looking forward to seeing all of you.
Yeah.
And continue this great tradition of this kind of weekend for young people in our church.
Okay, and the best to you. Thank you, Father. Have a great Tuesday.
Okay.
Right, thank you.